to 1, but that's somewhat rare. What you want to shoot for is the 5 to 1. That is, for every negative interaction, you've got 5 positive ones. So they also develop what they call the 4 horsemen, which is what they're able to observe in couples that can predict divorce if something isn't corrected. And those 4 horsemen are: 1, defensiveness, if they note that between couples. A lot of criticism, or any criticism really, but a lot, I think, would be the main thing here. Stonewalling, which is the word for where you give the silent treatment and don't respond and ignore or act like you're ignoring, because we both are very much caught up in it in a relationship. And contempt. And contempt is where there's the subtle, rolling of the eyes and, just kind of making the person feel like they're ridiculous. Okay? I think the modern word for it is gaslighting. So let's talk about some negative interactions. Remember that 5 and 1 ratio. One of those would be lashing out at your partner when you're overwhelmed instead of taking the time out. Even a 5-minute timeout can be huge in how you react and interact with your partner. Raising your voice during a conflict. We all have been blamed and can be blamed for that. Either that or we shut down and stonewall, but the goal is not to do that. Neglecting to do something that you told your partner you would do. Again, we're human, so it happens, but you want to make amends and try to complete that when you can, okay? Being invalidating, meaning, I don't know, your partner talks about something that they're concerned about and you immediately, invalidate it and make them feel like it's all in their head or it wasn't that important anyway. Let's see, rejecting a repair attempt by your partner, meaning if they come up and they try to fix things and apologize and you walk away or reject or minimize it in some way, can be very hurtful to your partner. Not listening to them when they speak during a conflict, as hard as it can be. And if we're working on not screaming, then try very hard to listen, and listen with your face, not with the head in the phone or in the TV or whatever. So, and also forgetting important dates and milestones to your partner. Like I said, set an alarm. We do it for other things. It's important that we hold on to those small things, even if they're not important to us, because ultimately the definition of a successful relationship is being there and being empathic for your partner, even when it doesn't matter to you. And hopefully they do the same thing for you, okay? Okay, so that 5-1 ratio, let's talk about the positives. Those are the negative things. The positive emotional state would be share your appreciation. Even if it's not daily, it'd be great if you share something daily. It's actually not that hard to do, but at least every few days, say something that you appreciate about them. We all want those positive strokes. Show affection often, whether that be, physical or verbal, holding hands or saying I love you. Those can be really difficult when you're upset, but they're the most important then. Not just on holidays, not just when you're wanting to be intimate, but all the time. I've heard it said that being intimate should, or foreplay should start the minute after you've been intimate and go continuously until you're intimate again. And I'm telling you, it will happen a lot more often if you are doing these things. If you're showing these little appreciations or, whatever the love language is for your partner. There's 5 of them. We'll cover them at some point. If you are doing the words of affirmation or the touch or the gifts, the verbal, the acts of service, they're just huge, and the quality time. Be an active listener, summarize, ask questions, make eye contact. Like I said, using your FaceTime. Do the acts of service, like we said. Do extra chores, just even something very small. If I'm coming home thinking I'm going to be folding clothes and I come home to find them folded, that is a huge thing. It's huge. That is even considered foreplay if you want to be honest about it. Show your partner you're thinking of them, especially when you're away from each other. Some of my military people who are away from each other a lot, but even if you're not away from each other, during the day at work, hey, send them a message saying, hey, thinking about you. Thank you for being in my corner. That's huge. Huge, huge, huge. And women, like we said, it works for both partners, but to say to your spouse or your boyfriend, that makes sense, I understand, huge validation. Go have fun together, You've proven you can get through the hard parts of life and pay the bills and make sure the kids' meds are there and get them to school, get the homework done, all that stuff. But what about fun together? Have those, if possible, weekly date nights. And that doesn't mean having to go out, because right now it's really hard to do that with COVID. But even going out and sitting by the lake and, having some coffee or something, taking a walk, it's huge. Can you handle quiet time with your partner? Have you guys forgotten what that's like? It's very important, especially now. Respond positively to bids for connection. When your partner says, hey, look at this, I can't believe this, even if it's something you don't care about, stop. Connect to them. If you're in the middle of something, say just one moment, but don't ignore it and don't minimize it or mitigate it. Okay? So that is the Valentine's show for 2021, and I hope you got something from it that you need, and you can do more research on Dr. John Gray and John Gottman, both amazing in relationship and communications. And I hope that you will join me again when we go over some things like imposter syndrome or emotional deprivation or all sorts of topics we're going to go over. So thank you so much for joining me, and you take care and enjoy your Valentine's and the rest of your February. This is Tammy, Texas Desert Rose, signing out. Blessings.